Oh,
Ta-da! We are live.
woo! Hey, people of the internet, it's Tim. I'm Tim. I am the community manager at The Grid, and this is the second in a series of hangouts that we're going to be doing with our team to kind of showcase what we've been working on and for you to get to know them. And today we are hanging out with our Chrome team, and they're going to introduce themselves and kind of share about what they're working on right now. So take it away, guys.
Oh, I'm Rima on marketing. You know me. Next.
Yeah, so my name is Mo. I'm the Chrome extension developer and the web app developer.
Jon Gold.
Nick is
Hey,
muted.
I'm Jon. I've been working on the user interface for building websites with the grid.
My name is Nick, and I mostly do prototyping, some front-end development, and design.
Cool. So, like in layman's terms, can you guys maybe kind of break down a little bit about what you guys do and kind of how it all kind of fits into the grid and what that looks like?
What does Chrome mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we are working on that part of the pipeline where users enter data into the system that at some point gets converted into a website. We have basically three different apps where you can do this, one on Android, one on iOS, and one in the browser. And yeah, my responsibility is getting the browser stuff to work and not to piss off you guys too much doing so, basically.
So it's basically everything users will see and interact with before their site is designed.
So basically the cool parts.
The cool parts, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Mo does
So
all the cool stuff.
the parts you will spend most of your time in, because I mean no one spends too much time on his own website, I guess, except I don't know.
Narcissists.
Yeah.
I love looking at my own website.
What was that, John?
I love looking at my own website, I'm weird.
No.
But yeah, so this is like where you'll add content, blog posts, whatever you want to do, and then also how you'll design your site, how you'll go from a site that looks like everyone's site to a site that's uniquely yours, and you'll edit the colors, you'll edit the typography, and you'll come up with a great looking website.
Awesome. So, John, do you want to show us some of it was a pretty exciting, I think, improvement that went in this week with the color and type and layout sliders. Do you want to kind of show us what that looks like?
Sure, yeah, I can do a quick preview of what I've been working on. So, cool, my screen sharing? Yeah. So the first thing we do when you create a grid website is we get you to choose a color palette for the site. This might be a photo you like if you're a photographer, or this might be your logo if you're a business, something like that. So here, I'm going to choose this one of me in Tahoe up a mountain because I wish I was still there. And I'm going to drag this here, and you can see here it's a palette from my photo. Let's see. Let's try that again with another one. This is a sunset I saw the other day because I'm a cliche. I take photo of sunsets.
Okay, sunsets are awesome.
You can drag that in, and again, so we'll run through this. We'll run through the rest of it, but just to point out here, like this is really, really smart. There's a lot of algorithms that can pull out color palettes from images, but our one's great because it doesn't. It chooses the best possible colors to form the palette rather than just necessarily the most common colors. So we end up with really lovely, beautiful, usable color palettes straight away. Do one last one. Cool. Nice blue Lake Tahoe. So when you're choosing colors, to inform the design of your site is you can choose how much you want, how bright or how dark you want these colors to be, how much you want them to be applied. So I can go for something quite bright like this, or quite dark like this. that guy down there's broken, so let's not slide that right now, but I'm going to fix that in the next couple of days. You know, you can like very quickly choose these lovely readable color palettes. So, you know, another thing that we've seen in the past with color palette tools, or if I go into something like, if I
Oh, do we lose John?
hello,
John, you
you
there?
still have that?
Hello,
This is a
yeah,
pretty
you're
common.
there.
Yep. Okay, so this is something that I've run into over the past couple of years as a designer. You know, you pick a color palette like this, and you try. Say I get this pink and orange and green and yellow and blue color palette. People try and just apply the palette as is. You know, they'll apply the orange, they'll apply one color over the other color. You know, text over an image, something like that, and it results in a mess. You know, these are beautiful color palettes that I found somewhere, but they don't result in like nice, legible, readable websites. So I'm sure you've seen Carl's demo on. Carl's color demo on YouTube. We'll link to that in the description, I guess. But he's done some really great work, you know, ensuring that the text is always legible over background colors, over images. You know, you just always have a beautiful, readable website. So let's switch back to this page. I'm just going to add a different one. Let's just see it one more time. Here's one of the Golden Gate Bridge I took when I was in San Francisco. Great, so we've pulled out that nice maroon color, and it should be applied there. So you get like these really lovely color palettes, you know, no matter what you start off with. So the next thing to do in deciding the look and feel of your site is choosing the layout. So we don't go for themes or templates. We more have kind of constraints and what would you say, Nick? We have like feels.
Systems.
Yeah, so you know we can go from, you can really go the full spectrum of emotions, I guess, or you know ethoses of layout, from quite static websites like this to more overlapping things, you know, text overlapping images and stuff, to some really experimental, interesting things like this. I love this layout, you know, or you can go for something more conservative like this, and you can flick back and forward, and you can see, you know, how this gets applied. It's really nice. This is really cool. One thing to bear in mind when you're looking at these sliders, when you're looking at the demos that I'm doing, is that these are almost like illustrations of the final site. They're not a preview of what your exact site will look like, but it's like a preview of the feel that you'll get from your website. So, you know, I can build up these systems quite nicely. The other thing is that this is like pretty work in progress, so this preview is gonna hopefully look a lot better in the next couple of weeks. But it's pretty exciting to have this, you know, out there already. Cool. Yeah.
Show
Awesome.
the tab system as well.
Yes. So the next thing, or the last thing we have in the site design tab right now is the typography system. So very quickly we can scrub through some really lovely choices of typography, which are arranged, you know, based on a pretty logical spectrum, I guess, from informal. I really like this one, this permanent marker style typeface, all the way through to this one's lovely, Oswald. Really lovely typefaces. Or you can go super formal. Maybe you're doing maybe you're doing some kind of newspaper site, something like that. You can really get the full range of typography options and emotions out there, and you can also kind of guarantee that everything you pick is going to look fantastic. You know, that's the goal with the system, that no matter what you want, no matter what you choose, from communicating this kind of feel for your website through to this kind of feel, everything's going to go together, everything's going to look nice. You're never going to get a clash, you're never going to get anything that looks amateurish. This is always going to be great. Also, these algorithms are improving like every single week, so I've been going back and forth between working on these sliders and then also working on the typography system that's powering that's powering the typography choices here. So the fonts that you'll see appearing here will kind of change and evolve as as we build out new features, and hopefully we'll do some more. Oop, just broke that completely. Hopefully we'll do some more demos over the next couple of weeks as we add new and exciting features to the typography system, because there's some really cool things going on. Right now we're working on teaching computers how to pick fonts like a graphic designer would. It's like a really, really exciting project. I've been talking for a while. I'm going to leave it there unless there's any questions, anything else they want me to show.
No, it's good. This is the first time I've seen the type and the color, where the type affects the color affects the type. It's really great to see it all coming together.
It's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, just if you wanted a quick talk about, like, so when you hit submit on one, you make a change here, and then you hit submit. I know this is about Chrome, but the process after you hit submit of your site updating, it's really quick, and it can have a huge impact on what your site looks like. You basically have a new website just by going in here and changing a few sliders.
Yeah, absolutely. So annoyingly, I've loaded up the demo version of this. It's not hooked up to my site, but you can imagine what happens. Someone else can do a demo of that in a second, but you can imagine what happens is you press the submit button. We send off, whether you've gone for a vibrant thing, whether you've gone for whatever typeface you've gone for. We send it off to the robots. They build you a new site, and you get a notification pretty much straight away. It's really exciting to see, and then you get a new site loaded.
John, do you have one of your sites set up to showcase some of the impacts from your setting changes?
I think Jeff was going to make his site public today. If you wanted to do, does anybody know if he made that public today?
He's going to.
Well, I know we can't change his settings, so.
No.
Well, we can show a couple of sites at the end, but.
Well, right access to the database, so we can, but he probably won't appreciate it.
We can secretly change Jeff's site. So Nick, I think we touched on it a little bit, but can you talk a little bit about more? I know, again, this is about Chrome, but this is just free for all. Talk a little bit about how layout, our design systems are different than a template or
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the biggest, I think, the biggest shift in thinking from something like a Squarespace or a WordPress is that you start with the content. You don't start with a theme or something where there's buckets to put content in. You start with your content, and the layout is determined based on whether you want a simple layout or a complex layout. But more importantly, it's based on what is the content. So you don't have to try and fit. If you have a video and some text and a title, you don't have to try and fit that into a certain space that a template gives you. You throw that content at the AI, and it lays it out based on a lot of things, based on how much text there is, whether there's a description, whether there's a subtitle, whether there's a CTA in there, whether it's a video. So it doesn't matter what order you give the content, or we're not putting restrictions on how many of a certain thing you need to have in order for it to look good. You just sort of give it a pile of content, and the design system will lay it out nicely.
Cool.
And this is really powerful as well. This is like a big shift in the way people will be creating websites.
Yeah.
When you go and commission a web designer, or when we as web designers create websites for freelance clients, one of the most important things to do to make sure you build a good website is you have the content first.
Yeah.
It's really difficult whenever a client used to. Well, back when I was freelancing, I'd have clients come to me and be like, "Hey, I need a website for blah, for my business, for whatever, for my photography site, whatever." Until you get that content, until you get whether it's the the headings and the copy, or whether it's the photography if you're doing a site for a photographer, until you get that content, as a designer, you really can't design in the absence of content. Design is so tightly tied to the content that you're putting on the website. So this is really, really exciting, because with Squarespace, with something like that, you have like a kind of pre-designed template that was created in the absence of any content, in the absence of any context, which that's not how a web designer would design a website. So I think we're on track to getting some really, really nice, unique, suitable, suitable and appropriate sites out here.
That's great.
Awesome. Cool. Anything else that you guys want to share this week before we sign off? Or things that we missed? Silence from the team. I think we need to bring the headwear back. Guys, we were playing with the Google, effects and things. I don't know if any of you have used Google Hangouts, but all these awesome magical things. I think, yeah. See, Jon has the best. It's exactly what he has already: a beard and glasses.
I'm just going full redundancy.
I'm totally into this carrot hat. I'm not quite sure what it does, but whatever.
Jon, that just creeps me out.
I'm going to present this to everyone.
Cool. Okay.
Make sure that everybody can see this beautifulness.
Right.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, I guess we can share some other news regarding the extension. It's not the stuff I'm currently working on doesn't change too much of the way you experience the extension right now. That's currently more what Forrest and Jon are working on. What I'm currently doing is I'm stripping out all of the UI parts from the extension and transport them over to a website, so that you don't have to use a Chrome browser anymore to interact with the grid. You can use whatever your favorite browser is: Firefox, Safari, Opera, even Internet Explorer, under the assumption that it's a browser.
What? That's crazy talk, Paul. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what Internet Explorer, but all the other stuff should just work fine. I mean, technically you can also use it on a mobile browser, even though I would recommend using one of our native apps for that, because it'll just be a way nicer experience.
So a little bit of background on this, founding members. Right now, the way that you access the grid is via Chrome extension. And so what Mo's talking about is that we're actually going to move over to a full-on web app. And what were Mo, what were the reasons that we started with an extension? Was it just...
It doesn't feel that way, but if you build an extension, there's a lot of technical what's
limitations
for? Yeah, not limitation, but a lot of technical implications that really make app development slow, and there's no real reason for us anymore to use an extension. The reason why we started using an extension in the first place was because the first drafts of the extension looked completely different from what we have now. We basically had this idea that every web page on the internet is a grid page, and then you have your extension where you can slide out just a little toolbar from the left, and there you can share stuff and see how much it has been reposted and which parts and things like that. All stuff we eventually got rid of. And then we ended up with basically what's a full-blown web app right now. So there's no real reason anymore to have it in extension. We will still be having extensions for all the major browsers, but they will focus mainly on sharing and basically getting content from the internet to your grid sites. And what you do once the content is in your grid app, that'll be handled on a website or one of the native apps that are currently in the app stores.
So kind of like how a user might use Pinterest, where it's like you go to Pinterest.com to actually change your boards, but then you have the extension to, if you find something on the web that you want to share to your site, that's what you use.
Exactly. I mean, the main difference, of course, that when you start ripping content off of the internet using Pinterest, then you're done once you're done sharing, right?
Right.
There's nothing you can do with your content except show people nice things you found. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, cool. Anything else that we missed for this week? Any exciting things you want to share?
I can do a quick share of the prototype, which is becoming it's becoming less and less
Nick, I don't know if that's a good idea. You will be raising expectations way beyond anything reasonable with that.
Come on.
Well, founding members, just keep in mind, this is the prototype. This is
Okay,
this is the
all
vision.
right. I will allow it. I will allow it.
All right. Thanks, Mo. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I think you're good. Let's see.
Okay, so we're running in the browser here, and really there's three major sections to or major screens to the Chrome extension. The first being your sites, the second being your posts, and the last is your feed, which is something that's coming in a while. So within the site, things that you won't see in the current Chrome extension, but that we're working toward, are the ability to go right into a site and see the content. So once you've laid it out without leaving the Chrome extension, or I'm sorry, without leaving Chrome, you're able to look at what does this site look like, and then going in and editing. Let me refresh that. Going in and editing things like your title, your description, the URL for your site. Okay. And yeah, so the ability to get right into your site from within the extension. So there's obviously the info about your site. One thing we haven't really touched on is the fact that each site has a unique purpose, and being real explicit about that allows us to know, is it that you want more followers, so we need to put follow me on Twitter, like this on Facebook, or is it that you want views on a video, or you want ratings? Are you just looking for people to engage with you? And by changing this purpose, we'll be changing not so much what the layout looks like, but what the primary call to actions are. So that's a big piece of what sets this whole system apart.
And so with each purpose, then the site will completely reconfigure itself based on the purpose you're selecting.
Exactly, because if what you're trying to do is get people to view, if you create videos, then your primary purpose is going to be video views, or people subscribing to your YouTube channel, and we're going to want to feature your video at the top. We're going to know that the latest video you've posted is what you want at the top of the site. And John goes deeper into this, but this is sort of the exploded view of what goes into a design. You've got your sort of your brand, you've got the colors that go into your site, you've got typography, and then you've got the treatment of photos.
And again, so this is the end vision prototype. It's not actually what we have in the current version, but
exactly
something we're working towards.
Don't tell anyone, but I might have started building this screen because it's so awesome. I just couldn't not build it. It's not going to be ready imminently, but it's so exciting to see this page kind of come to life with your typography, with your colors, with your photos, with your posts. It feels really great, seeing that thing animate, with your actual content in there. It's really exciting. So I'm going to try and carve out some time and get that in soon. But yeah, don't tell anyone.
We'll keep it quiet. We won't tell anyone.
It's a total secret.
What's said in the Hangout stays in the Hangout. Kind of. Awesome.
Cool.
Whoa. Inception. All right, guys. Let's see. Anything else for this week before we sign off?
I would say stay tuned. We're going to start constantly be updating Twitter with more site previews and more demos and things like that. So Twitter is the best place to find us. We're at The Grid. And yeah, thanks for being founding members and being a part of what we're building here.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys. Till next time.
Everybody.
Have a good week.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.